Hello and welcome. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. Let's jump in today. Our topic today, oh, it's telling me I'm muted. Can you hear me? Test, test, test. Yes. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so before we jump into our topic, I have a exercise for you. Is I want you to go ahead and take a moment and think about your week. This is a reflective exercise. So go ahead and think about this past week that you've had. And I want you to write down, what are you most proud of yourself for this past week? If you go through the past week in your head, even if it was one of those weeks where you disappointed yourself a lot, or felt burnt out, or lost your temper, regardless of what happened this week, if you had to pick something, go through, think about it, and write down, what are you most proud of? What are you most proud of yourself for this last calendar week? So take a moment to go ahead and write that down. Okay. Now, the next thing I want you to write down is, what ritual do you need to recommit to? What has fallen short this week? And as my wonderful mentor, Dr. Nona, would say, the three categories to look into are health, wealth, and connection. So I love going back to these in my mind when I'm doing a check-in or a reflection check-in. I look at health, wealth, and connection. Sometimes I'll grade myself on them and see how I'm doing. Today, I want you to think of those three areas and think of, which one could I have done better on this week? Which one do I need to really take a moment now to really reconnect on? Is it connection with my loved ones? Maybe I was so busy and killing it at work, but lacked some connection. Is it my health, right? Maybe I was doing great at work, doing great connecting with my family, but skipped my workout, skipped my healthy eating. Is it my wealth building? Right? Maybe I was doing really good with my workouts, really good with connection, but not giving 100% at the job. So, which area do you want to take a moment and just recommit yourself to? Where you'll say, okay, you know what? Maybe if I think of this as, putting wood in all in these three fires. I've got my wealth fire, my health fire, my connection fire, feeding the three fires. Maybe one is dying down and it's just a little flame or maybe even sizzling coal. So which one are you going to commit to throwing wood into that fire today? Now, of course, you're going to do all three because you are amazing. The fact that you're even here, I know that you are a super achiever and here to become the best version of yourself. So I know you're going to feed all three. Which one are you going to prioritize and really get that roaring flame back up to meet the other two? And how are you going to do that? And the reason why I'm asking this, because a lot of times we spend so much time in guilt and shame of what we didn't do, rather than just facing it, admitting it. Yeah, I didn't do that. And let me course correct here. Let me add a little extra wood this week to get that flame up. Sure, if I would have kept it going and added wood along the way, I wouldn't need now 5 pieces of wood to get the flame going, but that's okay. Today's the day. I'm going to put the 5 pieces of wood on the flame. And then there's the other personality type. So there's the one personality type that's going to go to shame and guilt and feel bad. There's the other personality type that's going to go just straight to denial. Like, I'm doing amazing. Everything is awesome. My kids are happy. My boss is happy. I'm super wealthy. Everything is great and it's impossible for me to fail. Just living in that denial. The answer is the same, right? The answer is the same, is acceptance and course correction. So simple. Like you just accept, like, hey, yeah, it's true that I'm amazing, but I'm also human and everybody falls short at times. And I've fallen short in this area. Maybe it was a commitment you made to your chiropractor and something you were going to get done. So own it, admit it, then correct it. So own it and correct it. It's not enough to take responsibility for mistakes. You must take responsibility for them and then fix them and then course correct. So taking responsibility takes a great level of humility and honesty to go to someone and say, hey, look, I made a mistake. And it might even be your kids, right? Again, maybe you were killing it at work and killing it with your health. Maybe you need to go to your kid and say, hey, I know I haven't given you very much attention this week. I'm sorry, I missed your game. It's been a really extra busy week for mommy at work or daddy. Um, but here's what I want to do. I want to plan a special time for you and I to just be in the yard, or a special time for you and I to play. Will you play with me this afternoon? Let's take an afternoon to play, or let's take the next 20 minutes just us. So commit to something to really course correct that. At work, if you've made a mistake, commit to fixing it. Let's say you didn't meet a deadline. Um, Admit it, apologize if you need to, and then have a very clear plan and path on what you're going to do. I know I said I would get this done by Monday. I'm so sorry that I didn't do that. That's 100% on me. I could give you a million excuses and reasons why, and other projects that came in that were more urgent. But really, none of that matters. What matters is that I said that I was going to do it and I didn't find a way. I want to let you know that I'm recommitting. I'm working on this. I've time blocked 30 minutes this afternoon. I've time blocked for it. I'm going to have this on your desk by tonight. So see the level of honesty and vulnerability, but also the course correction is so important part of that. You can't really do one without the other, if that makes sense, because some people do just jump right to course correcting and they may even fix the problem, but there's still that underlying, maybe resentment or that underlying feeling coming from other people in your life because the core foundation of it has not been fixed, if that makes sense. Anyways, okay, so let's jump in. Now that you've done your exercise, you have those questions if you want to use them for weekly check-ins. And today, what we're going to do, let me see here. We're recording perfect. We're going to talk about the new patient office tour. So this is one of my favorite and also most fundamental topics to train on. And oh boy, I gotta tell you, it has been the theme of the month with my private clients, group clients, inquiries. This has just been the theme of the month. People wanting to really hone in on their office tour. And I'm seeing more people than ever understand the importance of the tour. The tour is such a big part of your first impression. It's meant to be a transformational experience for patients. They come in maybe not knowing what to expect. By the time you get them to the room where they're going to see the doctor, they should be ready to go. They should be thinking, I need this, I want this. This is incredible. I hope I'm accepted as a patient here. I want to be part of what they're doing. I really feel confident that they can help me. So it's the front desk's job to create this transformational experience through the tour to really get the patient ready to see the doctor. So I've had this team and they were like, we already tend to run 10 minutes late. This tour is going to take at least 5 minutes, maybe longer. Our new patient appointments are already running so late on a regular basis, and then patients are waiting. There's no way we could squeeze this in. And I worked with them. I'm look, I promise it's going to make your schedule go smoother. Do it. Here's why. Here are the benefits. So they finally implement this tour. And the most incredible thing happened. Their doctor that was running 10 to 20 minutes behind in their day one now was either on time, finishing them on time, or finishing 5 to 10 minutes early. The only thing they changed was bringing a patient through the office tour. And here's the real magic of that. The patient was prepared, their guard was down, the CA was welcoming and friendly, they're ready to go, ready to sign up for care by the time they see the doctor. So way less objections. They feel like they know what's going on, right? Yeah. And that doctor was able to have such a smooth, beautiful day one because the CA created the environment and laid the foundation so the doctor could focus on really facilitating the healing and doing what he does best. So, the other thing I love about the tour is it does have education. I know we say it's not an educational experience, it's a transformational experience. However, you are planting seeds. You're planting seeds of education, um, not so much on chiropractic, but on your office rules, your office policies, the type of care you provide. So you're planting those seeds throughout your new patient office tour for the patient. And that can be so powerful. Then you're learning as team members how to communicate the message of chiropractic, how to make sure we're all speaking the same language. You're also teaching your patients who might be observing you walking someone through with a tour. You're teaching them how to communicate chiropractic, how to educate people in the community as well. And what's cool is once you've learned and memorized this tour and you're using it on new patients, you can use it on anybody that comes in the office, a spouse, friends, family, anyone that comes with your patients, the mailman that comes in, the neighbors next door that accidentally got your mail in their box and they're bringing it over. So anybody that comes into the office always gets a tour. And then you give them the opportunity to book their new patient appointment. You can also use the tour. Next month, we are going to be training on in-office events and things that you can do, internal marketing. And you will use the tour as a way to tour people around and then book them for an appointment. Should you have if you have guest speakers that give like health talks or teach classes at your office, which is a great thing to do, by the way, because it builds referral champions, power partners, it builds people in the practice or people that are used to coming to your practice that serve like-minded patients. And it creates this environment where your community sees you as the local resource center for optimal health and wellness. And that is key. So if you have even a little bit of space, even enough for a workshop of 6, offer your space up as a workshop space to anybody that is in holistic healing, anybody that has something that resonates with you, aligns with you. Okay? Might be yoga instructor, massage therapist, pediatrician, surgeon, uh, um, midwife. So think of what's your target market. If you're seeing new moms, do you have mommy and me classes or someone that teaches a mommy and me class come in and do a workshop? Do you have midwives come in and do workshops? Not just people that support during the pregnancy, but people that support after. Do you have experts on child development coming in and giving talks for different age groups of children and how to serve and nurture them the most? So the way to maximize this is when people come in for the talk, you have one team member is there, you give them a tour of the office, then you seat them in your workshop area where the guest will then come for the talk that they signed up for. And most importantly, on your way to seating them, you're going to offer them that new patient appointment and book them for the new patient appointment as well. So you can see the tour is very powerful to use for growing your practice and getting more new patients. So what we're going to work on today is structuring and building your tour script, the do's and don'ts. And then for those that are committed in really making this tour happen and achieving excellence, I do have a full tour training video. It comes with 6 other videos as well. That's going to actually show you me bringing someone through the tour. And then Dr. Nona is going to break it down after. And it's about a 6.5 minute video, shows a full tour, shows the full breakdown of exactly why we're doing and saying what we're doing, when we're doing it, everything down to the neurolinguistics programming side of communication, all the nonverbal communication. So everything in the tour is incredibly intentional. Every nod, the way that you shake the hand, everything is intentional in the tour. You need to give this your full focus and be fully present when you give this person a tour. When they walk in the door, the first thing you're going to do, walk around the counter, walk up to them, give them a nice palms up handshake, say their name because you've looked in advance in your pre-shift huddle. Hi, Joan, or hi, you must be Joan. We've been expecting you. It's great to meet you. We spoke on the phone. May I give you a tour of our office? So you bring them through. You're always inviting them with open hands. You may even kind of guide them. May I give you a tour of the office? You're always inviting them to do this tour. And there's some key points. You are going to want to highlight your uniqueness in the tour. Highlight why you're different from other chiropractors in the area, your office, your doctor. So I think some research you'll need to do if you're a brand new CA is what kind of chiropractic do you guys specialize in? Does your doctor have any certifications? Are they Webster certified, CBP certified? What can you highlight that's unique and different? You're going to highlight your doctor as well. So have they been featured in articles, magazines, news, interviews? Do they teach other chiropractors at seminars and events? Like that would be a huge thing to highlight. Our chiropractor is not only highly sought after here in our county, but our chiropractor is not only sought after here in our county, but also across the globe. She flies all around the US or all around the world teaching other chiropractors how to refine or fine tune their technique, their patient interaction, however you want to say it. So make it very customized to what your office does and your chiropractor does. That's why the community sees us as a local resource center. I know Martha referred to, she's not even a patient here. But guess what? The community knows that this is the place you go to not only get out of pain, but stay out of pain. The community knows this is the place that you go to receive healing. So have a lot of one-liners, bullet points you can plug in there. Each section, so you're going to chunk up your office in sections. Each section you show them must be highly intentional. There must be a point, there must be a purpose of the section. If there's not, don't put it in there. And you do not need anything in the tour. This is all about wow first impression. You don't need anything in the tour like, here's our kiosk, and every time you come in, you sign in here, and here's this. No, no, no. They're not even committed yet. That all happens after they're committed to being a patient, after they've signed up for care, after they've met with the doctor, had their exam, x-rays, whatever we're going to do. So you don't need to be showing them where to go and what to do because that's all they'll remember. They'll think, okay, I need to remember, sign the kiosk, bathroom's there, this is there, da, 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 water's there. That's all they're going to remember from the tour is what they're supposed to remember versus if you give them this transformational experience, highlight what you do, they're going to remember, hey, this place is different. Oh, wow, look, the CA has highlighted this wall of your patient of the month, correction of the month, referral champion. And at a glance, I can see the patients they've highlighted. I could see that they have a resolved list of symptoms they came up with that are now resolved. So for instance, you may highlight a patient of the month or a correction of the month. You may do a before and after x-ray, posture, screening, whatever. And you have your resolved list where it says resolved in big red writing and then underneath the symptoms that they came in with. Right? TMJ, a high blood pressure, headache. And now, of course, you've had them do their medical release form, all of that. and big check marks. So at a glance, you're touring this patient through. They're seeing the wall. They're seeing, wow, this person's free of headache. Wow, this person has high energy, no longer has a thyroid problem. They're seeing the results. You're showing them, you're highlighting, oh, I love our patient of the week. This is Joan. When she came in, she had super low energy, needed 7 cups of coffee to get through the day. She's been under care for 3 months. She just let us know she's down to 1 cup a day. This is the only thing she's changed in her life. But because these nerves in her neck go directly to her thyroid, guess what? Every time she gets adjusted, every time she does care here, it's resetting her nervous system. It's bringing more nerve flow to not only her thyroid, but all of her vital organs. Can you see how we're unique and different here? So always make sure you're using the language unique and different. You may even say even compared to most chiropractors, okay? You're going to, at some point in your tour, you must highlight the adjustment. The types of adjustments we offer here help facilitate proper nerve flow from your brain to all the vital organs of the body. So notice the body language. Okay, so what do we have so far? We have the big wow greeting. You invite them on the tour. We highlight somewhere, whether that be on your wall or you sharing an experience, we highlight great patient results. We highlight the adjustment, the uniqueness of the adjustment. And notice that there's just one little bullet point for each thing. You're not completely explaining chiropractic history to them or anything like that. We've already highlighted the doctor, right? What makes them special? What makes your practice special? You're gonna briefly highlight any additional treatments you have: laser, weight loss program, nutritional counseling program, massage therapist on site that works in conjunction with your chiropractor, to ensure patients receive the best possible results. Your, what else do we have? Posture exercises, your scoli bracing. So briefly, okay? They don't need an education on scoli bracing, because chances are they don't have scoliosis, don't give it beep about scoliosis. And even if they do have it, they probably don't even know it yet. So, or know why it's a problem. Okay. So you don't need to go into detail, brief to the point, bullet point of what this means to them. So you're always going to relate it back to them. Here's power plates. This is where our patients do their posture exercises to re-energize their body, increase core strength. Or this is where you may even say, if you're accepted as a patient here, this is where you'll do your posture exercises. It increases core strength, stability, and proprioception for better brain-body connection, however you want to say it. And by the way, with the videos, you get a full script that you could go through verbatim on this. Okay, so what did we learn so far? You're going to highlight the differences, right? Excuse me. You're going to end your tour with basically delivering them to where they're going to see the doctor. So however you do your tour in your office, you're going to want them to finish where the doctor is going to see them. And let them know the doctor will be in shortly, offer them tea, water, whatever you do in your practice. And then make sure, one of the things that we did do in Elite Systems, and I believe many offices in part-time $1 million cash practice do it, and quite a few other groups and different practice management groups I've worked with have basically an application process for patients, where patients have to hit certain things, certain meters to be accepted as a patient. So if that's you, if that's something you do, you're going to make sure to introduce that concept right here. So you may say something along the lines of, I do want to let you know we don't accept every patient that comes in here. Once the doctor evaluates you, understands what's causing your condition, he'll make recommendations at that time. So being very heartfelt and sincere. If that doesn't totally resonate with you, another similar thing is, I want to let you know Our doctors here, they specialize in not only getting you out of pain, but finding the root cause of the problem and correcting that. Get more specific if possible. If you know their symptom, they've given it to you on the phone or throughout the tour, speak directly to their symptom. As you know here, our doctors special, or as you may know, perhaps this is why you referred in, however you want to say it. Our doctors here, they specialize in helping people become headache free. This is something they've done many times before. And because of that, I'm so sorry, guys. I got distracted. This little notification came up on my phone, on my computer. It has synced with my phone against my will. And I need to go in, brand new computer, and figure out how to unsync it. So, where were we here? Okay, so you can let them know, our doctor, I know you came in with headaches. Our doctors help people with headaches all the time here. In fact, they specialize in helping people just like you get out of pain quickly. But what's unique about what we do, it's really great. It's great that they can help you get out of pain, but what's even better is they focus on getting to the root cause of the problem of what caused this pain in the first place. And that's what chiropractors treat. That's what chiropractors specialize in. That's what our chiropractor specializes in, is helping you find the root cause of the headaches, why you're getting the headaches in the first place. Not just getting rid of them, but figuring out why you're getting them and how to prevent that in the future. Or worse, how to prevent it from turning into disease or prevent it from turning into something worse. So you create your own quick one bullet point, one liner to create the truth about your office, right? That you don't accept every patient unless you can guarantee results. The doctor's going to look for the root cause of the problem. If they can't help you, they'll find someone that will. Whatever is most aligned with your practice, to leave them on a bit of a cliffhanger and leave them feeling like, hey, I really want this. I hope they can help me. I hope they can accept me. Most importantly, them feeling absolutely confident that they're in the right place, where they can be like, I am in the right place. I know they're going to help me or find help for me. So that's where you're going to leave them at the end of the tour. Okay, so now what you're going to do, if you already own the videos, do a quick watch through. Do any edits to the scripting you need to do to make it more personal to your office. So print out the script, watch the videos, write on there, do some quick edits. Then you have your format to role play, role play, role play. I always recommend you record yourself reading the script with intentional body language. When you're saying our chiropractor is incredible, you're nodding your head yes, not no, right? So make sure your body language is aligned, make sure you're open, great posture. You are, after all, the billboard of the practice here, representing, and they're looking to you to see if this is a good idea to be a patient here. So it's super important that you look the part, that you be about it, as they would say. So practice with the posture, the tonality, the enthusiasm. Practice reading through, record yourself reading through your script, whether it be a 3-sentence script that you have written or our longer one that you've modified, and practice reading through, record it, listen to it over and over and over and over again till you could race yourself and say the words faster than the recording of yourself. Practice bringing multiple team members, friends, family through the office. Ask your spouse to come in, ask your family to come in just so you can give them a tour. I used to give tours to my dog. I actually wasn't single. I was married, but I was home by myself often, so I would give tours to my dog to practice and memorize this and really make it natural and fluent so I could really focus on just being present with the patient and in that present time consciousness and feeling what they feel through the tour because I knew the words, right? So I had to put in the work in the beginning. And then when I did my exercises, my traction, I would plug in headphones and listen to myself doing the tour. I had flashcards for each section of the tour, so that's how I memorized it. Those are several options on how to memorize. Those of you that don't own the videos, I highly recommend you purchasing these because it's the entire new patient experience on video from the CA's perspective. So every touch point you'll have as a CA for the entire new patient experience. There's 6 training videos. The longest one is that tour, and I have to correct myself earlier. I think I said it was 6 minutes. I think it's closer to 10, 12. So make sure you get those. If that's something that you can't do right now, that's okay too. You can still work on and write your tour, make a couple bullet points for each section of the office. Reach out to me if you need help or you want me to review it. Once you're ready to role play it, you could role play it through with me there, and I'll walk you through the tour, give pointers, feedback, perhaps help you modify the scripting or body language. So use me as a resource. Now it's time to get to work and make your tour awesome. Last category of people, if you already have a tour, you're already amazing with your tour, go through, practice it with your team today, and make sure that you are very intentional and focused on loving the patient. And just see, are there any little nuances that I could shift or do better here? Repetition is the mother of all skill building, right? Repetition is so important. But also, what's really interesting is, it's one thing to be sharp, but it's another thing to stay sharp. So, what are you doing? Are you watching your tour videos once a quarter? Are you role playing your tour once a quarter to stay sharp? Because otherwise, what'll happen is we'll get lazy. Maybe the tour won't be as good or won't be as meaningful, and we're not as enthusiastic when we do it. Maybe we forget. Maybe we just stop doing it altogether. So, you want to make sure the good habits you've built in the practice, even if for the things you're most amazing at, sure, you don't need to spend hours training on them, but still put them in your training. Still do brief reviews, brief role plays so that you can stay sharp and stay consistent so that you're providing that consistent Ritz-Carlton experience for every single patient that walks in the door. Have a beautiful day. I can't wait to hear from you and see some of your tours that you're creating.